in November.
Wow,
Yeah,
I love
it's been
that.
fun.
That's beautiful.
It's been fun.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
While we deal with all the crazy that's going on in
Yeah.
Texas and around the world, like you're
Yeah.
not going to honor us, or
Yeah.
honey, like y'all at least y'all can say like we've been married longer than both y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting times.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to hear the sound of people connecting.
Yes. It was interesting when that changed for us. When I first arrived here, we came in and we sit silently and everything. I can't remember when or how it flipped,
Yeah.
but it did, and
Yeah.
people
It's
would
like
be up and visiting and stuff.
God is that joy. In the beginning was the bang. God was God laughing. Ha! Big bang.
Big bang. Yeah. Yeah. I love this place.
Oh yeah.
It's been such a life changer for me. These people.
Exactly, and that's why I want to continue to see it deepen, grow, expand. People find new players,
Yeah.
different ways, maybe to serve the younger generation.
Yeah.
Hungover, we got food and soul food and real food. Those 30-year-olds have been partying hungry. So come on.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much. Hey.
Yeah.
There's so
Hello,
much.
how are you?
Where's the next one?
Bristol's the keeper of the flame. She just walked in.
Thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Welcome and good morning to Unity. Welcome, welcome to this moment in our world. Yeah. Welcome to our sacred space, and the sights and sounds and tastes. Can you feel it? If you can, then clap your hand. Don't you feel it? If you feel it, then stand up on your feet and you feel it. Come on. Whoa, we are gathered here, different walks in life. Leave your worries at the door and come inside. We are welcome here, troubles cast aside. We are all as one as we sway from side to side. Welcome, welcome to this moment in our world. Yeah, welcome, welcome to our human revolution. And we're born into the movement. Can you feel it? If you can, then clap your hand. Don't you feel it? Let me hear you. If you feel it, oh, then stand up on your feet. And you feel it. You feel it. Oh, we are gathered here, different walks in life. Leave your worries at the door and come inside. We are welcome here, troubles cast aside. We are all as one as we sway from side to side. Welcome, turn to your neighbor, tell them welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And welcome, yes indeed, welcome to Union Greenville, where we're off our positive path of spiritual living. My name is LD Carter, and I'm your celebration assistant this morning. All right, share a few things with you. Thank you so much to all of you who contribute to our food pantry. That is just such a blessing to so many people that are needy who pass by our church here. You can make your contributions just by bringing them and put them in the cupboard. It's on the Greenville side of the church here, just outside the doors. We encourage you to bring individual servings, things that can be easily opened, like open packages you can tear open, or pop-top kinds of things for those folks who may not be able to access a can opener or whatever in order to prepare food. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. There is a community meeting coming up. These are not unusual for us, and we've been asked to hold the date for that on October 29th. So mark that. They're usually right after our service, so please plan on that. Put it on your calendars, and we'll see you then. So excited about this opportunity. A lot of you are familiar with Ellen Davenport's book, The 5 Principles. I love this book because it was one of the first things I saw that sort of put all the principles in one place and in simple language that I could absorb and understand. So I love this book. We're going to have a book study, a series. It's going to be hosted by Dr. Nancy Little. You know her. She's a guest speaker here on a regular basis. And it will start on Sunday, September 24th. And it will be in the upper room, I'm pretty sure, with more details to come. So love this book. If you are not familiar with the 5 principles and haven't looked at them in detail lately, this will be a great refresher. And if you've never seen them, you're going to love this. Love this book. Sunday potluck. This is one of our traditions we truly enjoy. Our next potluck will be on September 24th. So isn't it great you're getting all these advance notices, these things that you can look forward to, and they're coming up on your calendar. So it will be September 24th in the upper room. What a great time for us to fellowship and share and break bread together like family does. So please plan on that for September 24th. Coming up is the Unity World Day of Prayer. This is the 30th year that Unity Worldwide is hosting the World Day of Prayer. There is a virtual opportunity to participate, and you can find that at unity.org. You can go there, register for the World Day of Prayer, just find the link, click on it, sign up, and you'll be sent the link in order to participate. It's going to be on September 13th and 14th. The opening ceremony is on September 13th, and then there's also going to be a panel talking about the power of prayer and meditation, and also there will be a concert, a virtual concert. In fact, we were just talking this morning about Reverend Michael Gott. He's going to be one of the people in the concert. He's the minister out of Houston, and so plan on that virtual opportunity. Also, I noticed in our newsletter this past week, our Unity on Greenville newsletter, the gathering prayer for this year was posted. Every year, the idea of this World Day of Prayer is that we as a movement are focusing all that energy and together on one day in this one window of time, and we can change things through that. And there's this suggested prayer is an opportunity for you to do that with all the other wonderful Unity folks that are going to be doing it around the world. So go to unity.org, click on the World Day of Prayer, and you'll get all that information and the link. Here in our own sanctuary, we will also be celebrating the World Day of Prayer. This will be on September 13th at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be led by our spiritual care team, these wonderful folks who take care of us and pray with us on an ongoing basis, individually and both here in our sanctuary Sunday morning. And you can participate in that by coming here, but also if you're not going to be able to be here, we encourage you, if there are issues or people for which you would like prayer, we'd like to get those names on a prayer list for this particular observance, because during this observance, we're going to be reading aloud those names and blessing those folks. And so there is a prayer card if you'd like to use it, in front of you in the pew, where you can enter that name or names and just say it's the World Day of Prayer list. And so our prayer team will get that. What you can also do is electronically, if you're not present here today, go to DallasUnity.org prayer request. The link is on the screen, so you can go there and enter your list electronically if you would like to do so. So please plan on that in-present opportunity as well. We have some great lessons here on Sunday morning, and if you would like to hear them again, you can go to our full service playlist. It's at Unity on Greenville on YouTube, and you can subscribe on YouTube, obviously. So if you missed a Sunday, or if you heard something good and you just want to hear it again, this is where you can go and get that, okay? Join our mastermind group. One of the things that we believe here at Unity on Greenville and in the Unity movement is that prayer can change things. Meditation and that focus can change things. And that's what this mastermind group is all about. 6 people are going to gather on a monthly basis, and they're going to be strictly focusing on manifesting a new spiritual leader for our folks here at Unity on Greenville. That group is going to be facilitated by Donna Kirby. Donna, you want to wave at folks so they know who you are? So Donna's going to be facilitating that. And you can sign up for that group. It's going to be limited to 6 people. But we believe that where 2 or 3 or more are gathered, we can change things. So it will be 6 folks. They're going to gather on a monthly basis, and they're going to be focused on that one topic. So if you would like to join that group, there's a sign-up sheet in the foyer on the left-hand side on the table where you can sign up. So we welcome your participation. We are continuing our series of guest speakers, and back with us today is Veronica Valles, and she's going to be doing a series with us. I love series. I love book stories where you can dig into stuff in depth. So I'm very excited about what she's going to be doing with us this Sunday and next Sunday. You know her. I'm not going to do a long introduction, but I am going to ask you to show her some love this morning. Reverend Veronica, welcome back. Thank you so much for sharing your abundance with this ministry. You help keep us going. There are several opportunities in which you may share your financial gifts with us. If you're here this morning, you can drop it in the bowl in the aisle here. If you are remote, you can do it through Zelle. You can text it. You can also mail a check to Unity on Greenville. That's my good old geezer, old-fashioned way of doing it. I still write checks. I still order them from the bank, and I think they just keep the system open just for me, really. I'm probably the only person on the planet who still does that. You can also donate via Tidely, as I said earlier, via text. So thank you for blessing us. You've been blessed and blessing this ministry in return. We're grateful. Thank you. With that in mind, we want to take a moment to express our appreciation for those gifts that we've already received as a ministry, but for those that are yet to come. And that blessing is on the screen. Let's say it together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With gratitude, we commit to using our gifts for good. And now our daily word. All right, the word for today is refresh. It is Sunday, September 3rd, 2023. The affirmation for today is honoring the divine presence within. I am refreshed. Stretching and yawning after a good sleep, enjoying a brisk walk in early morning, or sipping a replenishing drink after a workout or time in the sun, I feel refreshed. I move forward into my next activity with a renewed feeling of well-being. Building upon and refreshing my knowledge may relieve me from thinking too much about my obligations. Spending time with a good book or revisiting favorite passages from my favorite writing give me a relaxing mental pause. I find many opportunities to refresh myself, to refresh my awareness that God, the divine presence, is within me wherever I am, whatever I am doing. It takes only a moment to find God's presence reflected in the people and animals I encounter and in the natural beauty that surrounds me. And our scripture for today comes from Romans, the 15th chapter and the 32nd verse, and it says, "So that by God's will I may come to you with joy and be refreshed in your company." And now let's recite our affirmation together. Honoring the divine presence
Within.
I am refreshed. Amen. I'd like to thank our spiritual care team that is supporting us this morning. Bristol Hart is holding sacred space for us at the back of the sanctuary. Thank you, Bristol, for bringing that energy to us. Sandra De La Cruz is our prayer chaplain for this morning, and she's going to offer our opening prayer. Sandra?
Let us pray. Today, let us open our hearts to receive that grace of God. God is within us, and we are within God always. As we accept this grace, we know that in this day, in the hour, in the moment, that the grace of God is with us, with every thought that we have. Let us open our heart to receive that grace within our hearts. How grateful we are to know that the acceptance is always available to us. And with this prayer, we know it is so. Amen.
So in that beautiful consciousness, I invite you just to focus on your body and notice how you feel. Any sensations? Feeling the presence of God, the grace of God with every breath. And when you inhale, notice this as the beginning of the breath. And with the exhale and the release, it is the end. And then notice how that next breath is readily available. Breathing in. And slowly breathing out. And in this rhythm of the inhalation and exhalation, the beginning, the ending, accepting and receiving, and releasing. Just be aware that the presence of God, the divine intelligence that operates as our life, is this cycle of life, this circle of love. And so with every breath, just allow yourself to be present. No matter what your body is feeling, focus on love. We bear witness to the body. Allow that love and grace and joy of God to circulate within you. And with every exhale, we send that beautiful energy out into the world. And for the next few minutes, let us continue that dance of the divine, the receiving with the inhalation, the releasing with the exhalation. And that continued breath of life. Which makes us so alive, awake, and aware. So breathe in, breathe out, and just continue to relax into the grace of this moment. And when the mind wanders, because it will, just bring your attention mindfully back to the breath. Breathing in, allowing all that love to be received, and breathing out, allowing gratitude to circulate in the world. And with every breath, dropping deeper and deeper into this presence. That is God. Remember that as we let the breath in, we must also actually let it go. So we breathe in and gratefully receiving, we now breathe out. And in that divine dance, in that circle of life, we know that all is well in this moment. So as we breathe in this moment, bring your attention back to the body, back into this room, noticing how you feel, in great gratitude for this practice together. One more deep breath in. And as we exhale in gratitude, just bring your awareness present and gently open your eyes to this moment.
everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone must change. No one stays the same. The young become the old, and mysteries to unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything will change. The young become the old, and mysteries to unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one ever goes unchanged. Yeah, there are not many things in this life you can be sure of. Except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, butterflies do fly. Yeah, rain comes from the clouds, yes it does. Sun lights up the sky, butterflies do fly. Yeah, rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly, music makes me cry. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky. Everything must change, nothing stays the same. Everything must change, no one stays the same. Everything must change. Everything must change.
Perfect. Perfect. And that's the whole talk, folks. We're going home. Thank you. I'm going to invite you to connect with each other while I get ready, but let's give Rachel another round of applause because that song is perfect. Like you telepathically got it. So get up, say hello. I'm getting all my papers out. Just a minute. Y'all don't want to say hi to each other? Hello. Come on. Just a moment to connect. Let's see. That was fabulous. Like seriously.
I looked up your phone. That came to me.
Oh. All righty. Listen to all that joy. All right, get your hugs and come on back. Love this. Wow. Spirit is in the house. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on down. You can continue afterwards. All righty, let's take a breath. Allow ourselves. You can always get more hugs afterwards. I love this. I love the sound of connection and love and community. So for those of you who may not know me, I am Reverend Veronica Valles. I got new glasses, but they don't work. Like my reading glasses don't work enough, so I'm going to be doing this today. So we are talking about the 5 invitations, Discovering What Death Can Teach Us About Living Fully by Frank Ostaseski. I hope I can do this book justice. It is profound. It is deep. I could spend over a year with each chapter. Frank Ostaseski, I just did a workshop with him and Roshi Joan Halifax at the Upaya Zen Center online. I was supposed to actually be there in person, but I had to change plans on love and death. And Frank Ostaseski has been working with the dying for 40 or more years. He's a co-founder of the Zen Hospice Project, and then he created the Metta Institute. And through his Zen Hospice Project, literally they would take in people, homeless, those living in severe poverty or mental illness, and love them up and allow them to die with dignity to the best of their abilities. See, we don't talk about death in our culture, but his wisdom is here to remind us how to live fully. And so I chose this book because I found it so profound, because he has 5 invitations for us through his sitting with thousands of people in the dying process. And so I'm only going to share a few stories. I can only touch on maybe 3 things, because each chapter, if you could see my book, it is highlighted, written, there's the depth of wisdom. And you can find him on YouTube, and you can definitely find him at the Upaya Zen Center at YouTube. The depth of his heart, because his whole practice is to feel into the moment, to allow our hearts to open and to live fully. Because not only did he work with the dying, he also experienced a stroke and a heart attack. And he's just so humble and profound. So the first invitation that we're doing today is don't wait. And then the rest of the weeks when I'm here, the second one is welcome everything, push nothing away. Bring your whole self to the experience. Find a place to rest in the middle of things, and cultivate don't know mind. If you buy the book and you go on his website, he actually has book club questions. I really invite you to get this book and journey together with it. It is beautiful. So today we're talking about don't wait. That song about change was perfect, because the first thing that Frank talks about is that change is constant and inevitable, the impermanence of life. I have difficulty with change. You know, I'm a little Leo. Sometimes I like things just to be the same so I can deal with the rest of the world, you know? But think about it, you know, change is constantly happening. The second is about hope, the clear intention and letting go, non-attachment in our process of life. And the third thing is forgiveness, dissolving inner obstacles. And Frank invites us to make contact with the precariousness of life and the preciousness of life, and to open our heart and to let love lead. He says, embracing the truth that all things inevitably must end encourages us not to wait in order to begin living each moment in a manner that is deeply engaged. Don't wait is a pathway to fulfillment and an antidote to regret. So I'm going to read the first story. It's very brief. There's a man named Jack. He was a heroin addict for 15 years. He thought he had a cold. He went into the San Francisco General Hospital. Ends up he has lung cancer. And so the Zen Hospice Project works with all the hospitals, so they invited Jack to come, to be taken care of, to be loved up through the last part of his life. And Jack writes in his journal, over the years, I've put things off. I figured there was always plenty of time later on. At least I've managed to do one major project. I finished that training to be a motorcycle mechanic. Now they tell me I got less than 6 months, and I'm going to fool them. I'm going to make it longer than that. Who am I kidding? To tell the truth, I'm scared, angry, tired, and confused. I'm only 45 years old, and I feel like I'm 145. I have so much that I want to do, and now there isn't even time to sleep. One story out of countless. And so the process of understanding impermanence, that everything changes, which is why that song was perfect, is to understand there's a beginning and an end to all of life. Our breath begins, then it must end. The sun rises, then it must set. Empires rise and fall. This service begins at 11. It'll end at a certain time if I don't talk too long, right? There's creation, there's destruction. But he brings us to this awareness of impermanence, that everything changes. We are not who we were last year. We were not who we were when we were little kids. I was looking at pictures in my 40s. I'm like, wow, I really loved my hair back then. I had more hair, no wrinkles, but there's change. And sometimes we fight change. And he's inviting us to be present to change by noticing nature, noticing flowers. He goes, each moment born with flowers, each moment it is born and it dies. And he says the fragility, the brevity, and the uncertainty of the flowers captivate us. They invite us into the beauty, wonder, and gratitude. And so with that same wonder and awe of flowers, he's inviting us to the change of our life. To not be stuck in the past, but to truly look that in life there's constant change. And if we don't live in harmony with that, that's what causes suffering. He goes, we're not our past, we are our becoming. He says we can release grudges, we can forgive, we can free ourselves of resentment before we die, but he says, don't wait. Impermanence is the door of possibility. So I had a teacher at my primary school who kept talking about wanting to go on a trip with her husband to Italy, but I'm going to wait till we retire. And unfortunately, she died of cancer, and it broke my heart that she never made it. Think about those times in your life you're like, I really want to go do this, or I really want to learn this subject, or I want to take that class, or maybe I want to take that trip. No, let me wait. Let me be practical about it. But there's no guarantee but this moment. And that's what he invites us into from his process of just walking people through that doorway, that he could only take them so far. The rest was up to their soul. But he says the doorway of possibility is understanding impermanence, understanding change, and not waiting. He says we have to crack our heart open. And when people, through the die-in process, they become to let go of all their sense of control. They become to be realizing that the boundaries that they had, the identities that they had, no longer matter. And there's increasing radiant quality of being. He says this light, the subtle aspect of existence seems more accessible the closer someone comes to death. But we don't have the language to understand or name the mystery. But the invitation is then to be fully present to it. So by not waiting and allowing ourselves to move through the process of change and impermanence, it allows us to be fully engaged to whatever experience we're having in our body, in our mind, in our world. When Frank experienced a heart attack, he said it literally shifted him, every sense of who he thought he was, into being. And he says we are moved beyond our reactivity to impermanence. He goes, we realize we are not separate. We are deeply connected. And that life springs forth from this universal presence, and we call that God. And so if we can understand that through his process of being with the dying and his own heart attack and healing, meeting fear in the moment, meeting uncertainty, allowing himself to be supported, and then literally having his breakdown was part of the process of cracking him open. So Frank is a Buddhist, and in Buddhist temples, you'll hear this very short phrase at the end of meditations. This one's short. The Upai Zen Center has a little bit longer one that I love, but it says, "Be aware of the great master of birth and death. Life passes swiftly. Wake up, wake up. Do not waste your life." And that's the invitation, to don't wait, to understand that there's change, to know that in the present moment, that's all we have. And then he talks about hope. Hope inspires the good to reveal itself. And it's attributed to Emily Dickinson, but they say it's anonymous. And he shares in the book the story of walking in the hospital, and there's so much suffering in hospitals, right? Even though the doctors are trying to restore to wholeness, but there's so much suffering. And he's walking, I think it was with this woman, going towards, the work that he was doing, and all of a sudden he heard Brahms' lullaby. And it was just being piped into every room and all over the hospital. And he just turned around, and he was just astonished how beautiful this music was. And he asked, he goes, "So what is this?" And the woman goes, "Well, a baby was born. And every time a baby is born, we play the music in the hospital. And it gives us this joyful reminder of the potential for new life that exists in every moment." And he said, hope filled the air. Even if it was just that moment, hope filled the air with this lullaby. Life, birth, death, release, it's constantly happening. My niece is getting ready to have her baby. I'm going to be a great aunt at the end of September. I have aging parents, but I'm 60. It could happen at any moment, right? And he says that when we get into this place where we're actually starting to release, whether it's something that we're clinging to or just the body temple, he goes, hope is usually object focused, all right? He says attaching our happiness to a specific outcome causes all sorts of suffering. And the invitation then is to not have attachment, which, I had to pray on this one because my prayers are always like really clear. Spirit, this is what I want, all right? This and something greater, And I'm like, am I clinging? But we pray in that joyful anticipation, and he says, in the ever-changing landscape of our lives, attachment to outcome posing as hope only generates anxiety and interferes with their ability to be present to our experience of life as it's unfolding in this moment. So the hope that's not attached is a clear intention, but also a letting go and meeting the moment. He says the moment is ever changing, so I can have that hope, health and wholeness, strength and vitality for myself, for my family, for my friends, for this community, but then I must just meet the moment too with this open awareness. He shares a story about David with Parkinson's and how David was arguing with the experience his body was having. He was resentful, he was angry, he was scared, he was worried, he was just wrestling with it all. And David is a meditator, and he just realized, okay, I'm exhausting myself. And he started just bringing himself to this, what he called non-waiting. Not waiting for the symptoms to change, but just being present. And it was a more receptive quality of mind. And he found out that he started to relax more because he was constricting, fighting his experience. And even though he wanted the change, when he just allowed it to be there, the hope that he had was met in the relaxation, and it was an invitation and not a demand. And allowed him to be present through the entire journey. Now, let me be very clear. Frank does not in any way say this is an easy process. He's not naive. He has sat with thousands, and he has met his own suffering and almost death. But what he's saying is that the more that we can bring ourselves to the awareness of impermanence, to the change that's happening, to hope without attachment, we can relax sometimes into just allowing the feeling to be there. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I had the experience in meditation where my back was hurting because I was sitting on an uncomfortable cushion, and I just allowed myself to breathe and to let it flow. And it just gave me the opportunity to bear witness to my experience. And so he goes from change, the impermanence of life, hope, the maturation of hope, that I'm not attached, but I'm going to stay present to what is happening in my mind, happening in my body, happening around me. And then this awareness, though, that to don't wait also includes forgiveness. Now, he says forgiveness shakes loose the calcification that accumulates around our hearts. Then love can flow more freely. And he tells a story of Blaze and Travis. Blaze was a woman who ended up, let me see, where did he find Blaze? She came to the Zen, she was living in a dingy hotel room when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And he said she couldn't go home and she needed someone to love her. That made me weep when I read that. So Blaze has this cancer. She has no family but a brother. She hasn't talked to the brother in 25 years. She tells Frank, she goes, he's part of the rodeo, and Frank's like, how are we going to find him? But they did. And the brother Travis ends up coming to San Francisco. And he wouldn't go into Blaze's room. He paced back and forth. He was struggling. And Frank, in his tender way, was just like, let's talk. Come tell me what you need to say or what you want to say to her. And so Frank says sharing our stories helps us heal because he listened to the story of Travis. He listened to how Blaze and Travis had such a difficult, painful childhood. And then he shared the abuse that he inflicted on Blaze as a child and his shame. But Frank listened without judgment. And he says listening without judgment is probably the simplest, most profound way to connect. It's an act of love. So anyhow, Travis wants to see Blaze. He's getting the courage. He's been in the sacred and safe space that Frank created to hear the story without judgment. And he walks into the room. I'm going to read this real quickly. He says, Travis pulled up a chair next to Blaze's bed and said, sis, there's something I've been meaning to tell you all these years, but I never could find the right words. I just wanted to say about all those things I did. And Blaze raised her hand like a traffic cop to stop him and said calmly, in this place, Travis, I have somebody who feeds me. I have somebody who bathes me, and I'm surrounded by love, and there's no blame. She did not want to die full of argument. She wanted to be free and full of love. She understood that the only way to forgive was to let her brother just be completely let go completely. She didn't want to go to the story. She didn't want to go to the past. No questions were asked. She died 2 days later. Now, forgiveness is for us because forgiveness can get a little sticky, right? My mother has a very hard time with this because she's like, I feel like they're getting away with something. I'm like, no, Ma, forgiveness is for you. He says forgiveness is critical for two reasons. It heals us to set down old pain, and it helps us open to love. And so holding on to our pain is quite simply not in our best interest. Forgiveness will not and does not imply reconciliation. Forgiveness does not mean you actually have to talk to the person. Forgiveness means that you are letting go in order for your heart to open so that you may allow yourself in the moment, whether you are just healing here or on the way out into your next incarnation, that you can be free. Forgiveness frees us. And it creates that space for our hearts to stay open. And so Frank continues to imply and just to invite us into don't wait. Do not wait to release what needs to be released. Do not carry the weight all these years. He goes, you don't want to get to the end of your life with all of this and try to deal with it all. Moment-to-moment awareness, over and over he emphasizes that, and to let love lead it all. He says, non-waiting is the antidote to the trap of expectation. It's an open, receptive quality of mind. In a non-waiting mind, we allow objects, experiences, states of mind, and hearts to unfold, to show themselves to us without interference. We can meet the moment fully. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be worried. It's okay to have all these feelings of uncertainty. And he says, just meet it though. Allow it. Let it flow, and then crack your heart open so you can be present fully to your life. He says we can learn from the great master death in order to live fully. Do not wait. So here's the invitation. So where in your life, like I said, I'm not a fan, like I love change, but there's some things I miss my nieces and nephews being little, but I love how they've changed into these beautiful adults. My niece is about to be a mother. I'm about to be a great aunt, There's constant change. So with love and kindness, bring this forth in your prayer work or your daily life and walk with it. It's like, what am I afraid to let go of? What am I clinging to? What do I think is giving me certainty in a world of uncertainty? And then check in with your hope. Is my hope attached, or am I just allowing the experience? Can I remember that everything doesn't last and then be fully present so that I embrace the moment? Can I invite more love in and maybe let go of all these stories over here, realizing how it's kept me down and kept me from growing? And like I said, it does not imply reconciliation. It does not mean whatever happened was okay. It does not mean whatever who that person is that I got to connect with, but it sets me free in the moment so I can live fully. Because we don't know how we're going to meet the moment. He says, don't wait. Allow the fragile process of life to show you what's most important. Then take action. He goes, it hurts too much to keep others or ourselves out of our hearts. But I'm really saying yourself. Check in with yourself. Am I living fully? Am I living my life? Or am I living my parents' version of life that they wanted of me? What do I need to let go of? What am I willing to release and thank for the process that brought me here in this moment? Where do I want to place my hope? I say joyful expectation, but can I meet that moment when things are hard? And to not think that there's some God not listening to my prayers, but I'm just in this moment with what is, with that joyful anticipation, expectation, letting other people hold me in prayer, which is why our prayer chaplains are very vital in this community. And I invite y'all who are not prayer chaplains to join, because the more that we have, the two or more that gather in prayer can amplify that. So at least, when we all eventually have to go, because we don't know, I don't have an expiration date on me. I haven't found it yet. I don't think I want to know. But when the time comes that I can look in the mirror and I can say, yeah, you know what? I did live fully. Yeah, I did love. Yeah, I am loved. Yeah, I did my best. Perfect? No. Mistakes? A lot. We all do. But to forgive even myself, maybe for things that we say or do. I found a note that I wrote my niece, Monica, the one that's about to have the baby. I don't know what year it was, but her sister was born, Macy. But I said, in that note, I said, I can't find it. It's because I sent the picture to her. I said, Monica, I really apologize for being so grouchy at dinner. All right, because I must have been like grouchy the day before dinner, and I must have left her Hershey Kisses. I go, here's a gift for you. Make sure you share with your sister Macy if she wants any, and I love you. And then I put P.S. recycle this note, all right? It's hysterical. I might post it on Facebook. And then she reversed it, and she goes, Veronica, thank you. Thank you. I did share Macy, and we love you. And she said it twice that we love you. So she accepted my apology because I had this regret. And then she also shared, and then she left me a few for me too. And it's just those little moments that remind me that we're spirit in this human form, that we're not perfect, we're present. To allow ourselves to move through change, to don't wait, to the people that maybe you do love and you haven't talked to in a long time, because sometimes our friendships are just on other sides of the world or in different states, that when you think of that friend, like I reached out to my friend Jenny, and she called me back. She's in France right now. Her and her wife bought a property over there, and then I got this phone call. It's just like, oh, I'm glad I didn't wait, right? Because I've had those moments where I did wait. Oh, I'll call her tomorrow. I'll call her next week, and then my friend passed away 2 weeks later. So here's the invitation before we watch a very quick video. Notice change. Notice the flowers. Notice the change in your life. See if there's any place that you have attachment, and look at it with love and kindness. Then examine hope. Am I clinging, or am I allowing? And then notice any place that forgiveness may be potent medicine so that your heart can be free, that your heart can open. And then make a list of things that you have always wanted to do, but you keep waiting, and pick one this week and do it. Even if it's a trip that you want to take, go look online. Go to Rick Steves Europe. I think I want to go to France next year with Rick Steves, all right? But don't wait. We don't want to die with regret. We want to live fully. And when the pain and suffering are here, because this human condition does provide this, bodies aren't perfect. I got a whole design flaw with the divine. I'm like, it's like whoever's up there designing these bodies, I got some issues. I got a list for you, And so until those get, fixed in the next lifetime, be present, though, to the suffering. And allow yourself to be loved. And allow yourself to be supported. And allow yourself to have prayer. And allow yourself to be surrounded with people who really know you, truly bless you, and are there for you. And when we listen to each other's stories without judgment, we create a space of healing that is such potent medicine. Frank has literally sat with thousands of people dying. He's such a beautiful soul. And the way that he loved each one of those people and said that they were his teachers. So, Valerie's going to cue up a song. So when I was working on this talk, Don't Wait, I went on Facebook, and a friend of ours, Tom Prasada Rao, singer-songwriter, is experiencing and having just this whole continuous cycle with cancer. And he goes through treatments, and then he's okay, and then a tumor comes back. So anyhow, I get on Facebook after trying to listen to Spirit about this talk, and this song came up. So we're going to listen to this song. These are 4 of his friends who wrote this song and singing the song. The video may be fuzzy, but you can hear the song, and then we're going to move into prayer. But the invitation is don't wait. Don't wait. We got now. We got this holy sacred now. So Valerie, and thank you so much for getting that. And this is how these 4 friends are expressing their love to Tom.
Don't wait to say I love you. Don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. Don't wait to say I love Don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. I know it's not your way to say the things you feel. You keep your love inside. Life goes by so fast, it soon may be too late. There is no time to hide. Don't wait to say I love. Don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. Those who care will never tire of stories from your soul. At your most real, you've power to heal, to make the broken whole. So don't wait
Heart.
to say
Where do you need to say
I love
someone else?
Don't wait, don't wait.
Where in the world do you say love also?
Don't wait
Have this holy
to
sacred now.
say I love
I want you to close your eyes and we listen and we move into prayer.
Don't wait.
That we understand that change is always happening. We only have this sacred now. That we will not always be here together forever, but we are here in this moment now. So let us breathe into the sacredness of don't wait, be here now. Breathe into the power and the presence that is God, that is revealing itself now. To understand that there's birth and death, but the soul never dies, but that cycle of life, the letting in and letting go, the being present and the becoming. That we understand that living fully is living in the wholeness and allness that is God as our unique, individualized incarnation. Do not wait is an invitation to be present fully to the moment, present fully to life, present fully to the light, and even in the depths and the darkness of suffering that we bear witness to it, whether it is our own or our fellow brothers and sisters, our lovers, our partners, our family. That we bring into this awareness that the hope that we are diving into is that expectancy that the presence of God, that no matter what the condition is, spirit is perfect whole, spirit is complete. And we allow this human journey to reveal itself in every moment in the sacredness that it is. That love is always the reason that we are here. And that forgiveness opens our hearts. So I know for each one of us here that we are living and engaged in the allness and the wholeness of God. That even in the suffering, that even in when the body is giving us some complicated problems, that we can be present in love and allow love and receive love and to give love. Because that's really all we're here for. So we breathe into this together, this awareness, the gratitude, first of all, for this community, to understand the beginnings and the endings, but this complete knowingness that spirit is infinite. Infinite. And that infinite nature may change form, but that infinite nature is always love. And that love prevails no matter what in this world. So I invite each one of us then just to drop into our hearts and to drop into this awareness and to know that change is always happening. It's impermanent. That hope is that joyful expectancy without attachment. And that forgiveness is just opening the door of possibility to allow ourselves to be free in this moment, to be completely, authentically, uniquely who we are. And to love, especially when it gets hard. And to know that when it's our time, that we will be loved and supported and guided and lifted, and that each person here can be that beneficial presence. So the invitation of don't wait is to be here now, to love here now, to live fully now. And as we breathe into this, allowing that energy to flow, that divine force, that life force, we give thanks for each other. We give thanks for this time. We give thanks for the possibility. We open to the moment, and we love the ones that we love with our whole heart and soul. So as we breathe in, I know that this time together has been divinely appointed. I'm grateful for all that was revealed and continues to seek to reveal, and all that moves and lives and has its being in, through, and as us. And knowing that it is God, and knowing that what we call good, maybe in the human condition doesn't feel like it, but God and good is fully lifting our lives in every moment that we breathe in. Oh, we breathe out, and we breathe again, knowing that life is always here. And together, we live fully and allow this word to be by saying, and so it is.
So it is. If you wake up and you don't want to smile, it'll take just a little while. Open your eyes, look at the day. You see things in a different way. And don't wait thinking about tomorrow. Don't wait, it'll soon be here. Your spirit's here better than before. Yesterday's gone, and yesterday's gone. Your way. All I want is to see you smile, if it takes just a little while. I know you don't believe that it's true, but I never mean any harm to you. And don't wait thinking about tomorrow. Don't wait, it will soon be here. Oh, your spirit's here better than before. 'Cause yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Don't you wait. Oh, yeah. Thinking about tomorrow. It'll soon be here. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. If you wake up and don't wanna smile, it'll take just a little while.
There we go. I got a green light now. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And appreciate you so deeply. Wow. And that was just the first part. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. At the end of the service today, Sandra is our prayer chaplain today. She's going to be available at the back of the sanctuary if you would like to have individual prayer time. We are blessed to have that service, that opportunity for us. Okay, our new minister affirmation. Let's experience this affirmation differently this Sunday. Let's shift just a little bit. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for just briefly, just for a moment. And as you close your eyes, as you go into your inner space, find joy. Just joy. Whatever that means to you, joy, and let it come across your face in a smile. Joy. The joy knowing that the universe is leaning in our favor. The universe wants to give us our heart's desire, the joy. The joy of when that person arrives. Oh, the joy. The meaningful lessons, the powerful prayers that person will bring with them. Just the joy of that. And remembering that we as a community, we embrace with love, joy, and harmony a creative and dedicated spiritual leader who will bring positivity and connection with our community at Unity on Greenville. Ah, what a joyful time. It's going to be a joyful time. And now, let's remember our core values. Those are listed on the screen, and so let's repeat those together. Unconditional love, conscious spiritual transformation, spirit of servants, acceptance and inclusion, expression of divine light. Thank you. Amen. We're blessed. If you would like to connect with Unity on Greenville, go to unity.org and click on our Connect button. If you have questions about the Unity movement, if you would like prayer, if you'd like to be on our newsletter distribution list, please enter that information there, and someone will be in contact with you if you wish to be contacted. Thank you so much. And now let's stand and sing our peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me. Yes, there is peace on earth. was meant to be. We got our Creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, there is peace on earth, for this is the moment now. With every step I take, I make this my joyous vow. I take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me.
And now a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week.
May the light of God surround you. May the love of God enfold you.